Oh yes, we are over our obligatory smile time. You are watching the Xander Gibb Show, Monday's episode. We're just in pre-production mode. We're just gonna get the links, share the links, do the links, linky link. See. I can't even talk tonight. Feel free to share the links. Oh yeah, it's all changed with Facebook. I don't like this new Facebook. Everything takes like 10 times longer.
Oh yes, we.
Shut up, Xander. And you have to hunt for everything, and it really is tedious. Why so tedious? Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're just getting started. Got so much to tell you. Had a very interesting weekend. Hello to everyone in the live feed. We're just going to get the YouTube link and share that in various places. My my throat is sore from shouting at various people today, customer services in various places, but I will we'll talk a little bit about that also later. Just sharing to Instagram, and I just realized I closed the Facebook page. Just share it to Parla, although I don't think it's any good at all. Feel free to try and convince me differently. Hello to everybody in the live feed. I will come and say hello to you any second. I'm just doing the the share thing. If I could share my show, if you could share it too, I'd be ever oh so grateful to you. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. All right, let's click to share to pages on Facebook. Share to a group. Let's just hope it's doing. Here we go. Yes. So share, share. Don't share. It takes. If it takes forever, then I'm prepared to wait. The day you share my show for me won't be a day too late. Oh, come on. So yes, we are just sharing. Taking care not to share. It's very poetic. Taking care not to share. Every time you share to a page, it kind of like does this now. Is it me, or is the new Facebook like just too much, basically? Just waiting for that. It's like I can't describe it. It's like a bit when you're watching a sci-fi thing and somebody walks through like a wall of antimatter into another dimension. It's kind of that kind of thing. Anyway, you have to be a little bit of a sci-fi person to get what I'm talking about. But we will be with you very soon for today's edition of the Xander Gibb Show. Wow. So much to tell you, so much to share. Tell you about my interesting weekend where my wheelchair broke. Oh yes, sir, the wonders of modern technology. And this is why I'm in this big clumpy power chair thing that you can't normally see when I'm broadcasting, but now it's like I'm like a foot higher off the ground, and it's a little much for me. It's great when you go out because you can just kind of like whiz around everywhere, but when you're in the house, all of my kickboard and everything is really messed up, and never mind. We will get there. Why is this not working? So yeah, we're just sharing too. as many pages as we possibly can before we go live in about 60 seconds. 525,600,000 stupid Democrats. Is that the way to measure the DNC? Today, if you watched that last week, it was like a game show, wasn't it? Next up, from New York, we have the inimitably stupid Alexandria Ocasio, no neocortex. Hello, this is Alex, and I'm a what's it thingamabob now, you know. Just make sure you do the thingy, because America will be better if you do that. I mean, she has to be the dumbest woman. I know we're not supposed to say that, but come on. You got to admit, she is the dumbest woman on the planet. We are nearly there. We just got a couple more places to share it to. A couple of my Australian conservative pages. Got a lot of people who watch and listen to the show in Australia, so a big shout out to you. And some of my Americans don't feel too left out. Hello to all of my Americans, and hello to all of my British listeners too. And we even have some people in South Africa that listen to the show. So, we would like to say a big hello to them too. And that's as many accents as I can do in one sentence. So, hello to everybody all over the world who watches the show. I think that's it. I think we're there. We are going to go into the opening titles, and then I will come and say hello to everybody. So we're going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, gone.
It has been good to me this time around. Things were bound to change when it was found. Sugar never tasted sweeter on my lips. My heart is now intact, and I can find no rifts. This is love, yeah, love. Never known true love before. Seen so many counterfeits that left me on the floor. This is love, yeah, love. All will come to those who wait. Time it cannot know the bounds, and era don't dictate.
Hello to my lovely friends, fans, and followers. Don't you always hate that one stray hair that just sticks up? Welcome to today's edition of the Xander Gibb Show, the talk show that really does get you talking on the Xandermonium Network, live from an undisclosed location. And no, it's not your mother's basement. For the best in Patriot broadcasting 3 nights a week right now. I'm Xander Gibb, and on tonight's edition, I get on my soapbox and I break down and analyze the real news. Tony Lusako drops by to break down this week's hottest topics in part 2. You can have your say in the feed below, and as usual, I'll be sharing your comments as we go, so keep them clean. You can follow me on social media everywhere but Twitter, because Jack is a Chick-fil-A addicted asshole. You can find out everything you need to know, including my age, date of birth, social security number, NI number, and waist number. No, I wouldn't be telling you my waist size. Not yet, but one day we're getting there. You can check it all out at xandergibb.com. That's xandergibb.com. Oh, yes, sirree. So I'm going to come now to, got less space to maneuver in this new thingy-me-bob. What's it? I'm going to come to the live feed and say hello to everybody therein. Hello, hello, hello. It's not going to go all the way backwards. Hello to Carla. Welcome to the show. Hello to Christy. Hello to my brother Chat. Welcome. Hello to... It's running very slow. I don't know why. Hello to my Gina. Welcome to the show. Hello to... Come on. What do you mean? What about a Texan accent? All my exes live in Texas. I don't know. That's just my attempt. Hello to Janie. Welcome back to the show. Hello to everyone that's watching. I'm hoping I haven't missed. Hello to Mr. Swoop. Welcome. Chet says, I know anyone supporting Creepy Joe is retarded. I'm sorry if I've missed anybody. I'm so sorry. The feed is not working very well tonight. But I'm going to go into... what am I going into? I'm going into my brain for a transplant. We're going to talk now about the news of the Xander's news of the day. Bong! So big changes are happening in the royal world. Queen Elizabeth won't return to Buckingham Palace as her royal residence for the foreseeable future. Buckhouse has been one's primary residence since being a working palace where the monarch spends most of her time. But a decision has been made to make Windsor Castle her base until the coronavirus threat has passed. As Her Majesty left Buckingham Palace this March and likely won't return until after the new year, it's believed her and Philip is the longest period in her 68-year-old reign since she has left. Now, I wonder if it's anything to do with the fact that protesters were shouting pedophiles through the gates over the weekend to Prince Andrew. Now, you're not seeing that on the news. People that were actually there in person were seeing all of this going on and recording it for TikTok and various other things. I wonder if she isn't a little bit scared, and I think that's a shame because it's not, you can't be, as a parent, you can't be blamed for everything that your kids do. I mean, gosh, imagine the thought of it. The very thought of you. Oh yes, sorry. Don't forget our drinking game. If you hear me say the words "Goats Lives Matter" or the phrase "Goats Lives Matter," we miss you, Dave. Come back soon. We hope you're doing good. I'm just checking. I'm getting some interruptions on my end, and I just want to make sure that it's. There we go. Yeah, it looks to be pretty fine. Hello, CV. Welcome to the show. So yeah, I wonder if the Queen is getting a little concerned, to say the least. Are you guys getting any interruption in the video flow? So, on to the next topic, which is, if my teleprompter does its job, President Trump is considering fast-tracking the approval of a possible coronavirus vaccine, looking at the potential vaccine being developed by Oxford University and AstraZeneca, according to a new report. One option could involve the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, authorizing it for emergency use in October. I'm guessing this would piss Bill Gates off and his manly wife. But isn't that a good thing? I wonder if there's method in the president's madness, because obviously he wants to save as many Americans as possible. Good. I'm glad you're not getting interrupted. It's probably just my end. So fingers crossed. So yeah, I think there's method in the president's madness. Obviously, he wants to save as many American lives as possible, but I would like to piss Bill Gates off and actually put him in a position where he's not making billions from the not making millions from the misery of others. So as Republicans considering White House runs in a post-Donald Trump world, assesses one other as potential rivals, their loom... All right, I'm going to start that again. It's not going very well tonight, is it? But at least we can laugh. One of the potential rivals is... There looms one name who could complicate all of their planning. The other Donald Trump. The GOP is set to officially nominate the president for a second term on Monday evening, but some in the party are already looking 48 months to the election of 2024. Arkansas... can't do this tonight, folks. Arkansas's Tom Cotton, Texas Ted Cruz, and Missouri's Josh Hawley are just some of the senators thought to be eyeing a bid as the two Florida, Marco Rubio and Rick Scott, and a number of Republican governors, but in a party that has become more about Donald Trump than what Republicans used to call republicanism the president's most loyal supporters could belong to, his eldest son, Donald Trump Jr. At a rally at the Veterans Memorial Coliseum in late February, Trump Jr. and his girlfriend, Kimberly Guilfoyle, were hands down the most popular warm-up speakers, even getting a prolonged draw as they walked to and from the camera riser for a pre-rally interview. When he took the stage a short time later, a chant of 46 arose from the 15,000, a reference to the president who will follow his father. Trump Jr. smiled but did not discourage them. Let's focus on 2020. Eyes on the prize, but thank you, he said from the stage. Yeah, I couldn't agree more with Don Jr. Hi, Dave. Welcome. Don't worry. We'll give you a tardy slip in a minute. I think he's absolutely right. We do need to concentrate on 2020. This is going to be a hard win. But I do believe the president is going to win. But as well as that, I do believe that there will be some landslides, but I don't think we can count on that to happen. We still have to get out there. We still have to do the work. We still have to sit up till 3 a.m. in the UK. We still have to do our shows every week, just like Chet's doing, just like I'm doing, just like Joe's doing, just like Andrea's doing. Not for our health, but to ensure that America gets great again. Catholic schools are reopening for classroom instruction in Chicago. That is unless the teachers union can get the politicians to shut them down. Unions fear that they look bad if private schools open successfully while keeping COVID-19 contained. Now, the decent approach should be to wish them success, but we know that's not going to happen in Chicago or with the Democrats. But I really think that this needs to happen. We need to get America open again. We need to get the schools open again. It's too big a gap for children in education. I know some people are homeschooling, but in fairness, how good are parents at homeschooling their children unless they've had a little bit of training? The other thing that kind of concerns me about this lockdown, shutdown, whatever you want to call it, is the fact that, I saw someone on the news tonight here in the UK with regards to that they'd not had their cancer treatment, so now they're going to die. They had 5 tumors and they were going to operate, and then they put all of those operations on hold, and now this guy has got 20 tumors and he's going to die. And I think that is effing disgusting. Get the countries open. Get our people treated. Get this world working properly, and stop this bullshit over a pandemic that is no worse than the flu. There you go. I said it. In an impassioned defense of his beloved and beleaguered New York City, comedian Jerry Seinfeld had some harsh words from Manhattan comedy club owner who bolted for Florida and recently claimed the Big Apple is completely dead with no hope for a rebound. You say New York will not bounce back this time, Seinfeld writes in a New York Times opinion column posted today, not naming his target, but linking to a LinkedIn post written earlier this month by stand-up New York comedy club owner James Altucher. Now, he said you will not bounce back in oh God, this damn auto cue will not bounce back in a pastel-filled new life in Florida. I hope you have a long and healthy run down there. I can't think of a more fitting retribution for your fine article. This is the thing for me as a New Yorker, and this is something I want to share about New York. We as New Yorkers are resilient. I don't know if you guys remember this because, the liberals have forgotten and they've filled our houses of power with those that want to kill us and get rid of us and generally wish us harm. But there was a time when they flew planes into buildings, into the Trade Center in New York in 2003, I think it was. Forgive me if I got that wrong. And thousands of my fellow New Yorkers were killed. Sorry, makes me a little emotional to talk about. But we as New Yorkers are resilient. We will rise up, we will get back, and we will claw on through. I just want to sing the national anthem now, but I'm not going to. Chet quite rightly points out it's hard to homeschool when both parents work. I absolutely agree. It wasn't a criticism of any kind. And finally, if I can speak without crying, around 100 nudists have tested that's nudists, have tested positive for the coronavirus in a naturist resort in France, according to reports. A screening drive was set up in the front of the resort, miles from Montpellier. Apparently, the testing center was set up after 2 employees in a hotel came down with the disease. At the height of the season, 35 to 40,000 people live in the naturist village. Pierre Ricordieu, general manager of the regional health agency, ARC, said, for the first time, the incident today has exceeded the threshold of 100,000. It is a very rapid development. We are struck by the acceleration of the last few days. There are many young people and not serious cases. The situation is yet catastrophic, but it is worrying and requires action, he added, in a better French accent than mine tonight. More tests will be reportedly carried out with the 4 bars and party venues in the area, which have closed since. Now, the wearing of masks has been mandatory in the naturist village. Prefectural decree was declared. I'm sorry, I just couldn't get these pictures out of my head of these nudists with like masks on, but nothing else, lining up naked to get their screening. And that was I can't even talk tonight. And that was Xander's News of the Day. If you want to get on your soapbox or come on the show and talk about anything you want to get off your chest, you can contact me at xandergibb.com/contact. That's xandergibb.com/contact. Oh, yes, sirree. And Goats Lives Matter. We have time for a couple of calls. If you're in the USA, you can call us on 845-363-4747. And if you're calling from the UK, you can call 0208-133-5274. That's 845-363-4747 if you're calling from the United States. And if you are calling from the UK, you can call us on 0208-133-5274. The lines are open. Press your buttons now. Press that call button now. Did I get that right? 133-5274. Yes, that's right. Chet says France has bigger issues with the wonderful religion of peace. Yeah, I shouldn't laugh. That was my headrest, not my neck. I know it looked like it. I shouldn't laugh, but it's really concerning that both France and Germany brought in all those so-called refugees, and now all they were all. Did you notice that as well? They were all guys. Where were the women and children refugees? That's what I want to know. I think that's still a worrying thing. So then they've got all these, male Muslims that are supposedly refugees, fighting and causing trouble and kicking it up, et cetera, et cetera. So, I think you kind of get what you deserve. Dave says, did you guys see a Muslim doctor at Ohio State University did not give a Jewish patient the meds they needed to help them fight COVID? Wow, that is absolutely disgusting. Jews' lives matter. Never mind Black lives matter and goats' lives matter. That is rather concerning. We have our first caller. Let's bring them on. Welcome to the Monday edition of the Xander Gibb Show. You are live. What's your name and where are you calling from, Chet?
This is Chet calling from Joe Biden's basement again. Full coverage.
Are you tied up?
Of Creepy Joe's segmented population of voters that'll be showing up sometime in November. A lot of buses going out with dead people, some illegals, things like that. Joe Biden's sure to shore up the dead people vote in November, Xander.
I don't doubt it. I'm hoping you're not tied up in Joe Biden's basement and you're free to kind of come and go as you please. And is Jill feeding you well? That's what I want to know.
Jill is a great woman. When she's not tied up, she's feeding me well.
Yeah.
And when I'm not tied up, Joe has ruled the house, but he's still not sure what day it is. And he does believe that Jill is his sister. So it gets, a lot of things aren't really good around here. As far as when he's twilighting, we have to be really careful.
Yeah, that's a great word, isn't it? Twilighting. For those of you who don't know, that people are dementing, that means they have dementia. Around 6 o'clock, they start twilighting, and sometimes earlier. I have to kind of point out, we're not laughing about people with dementia. What we're laughing about is the idiocy of the left in one of the most important elections, of the 21st century. Kind of running a candidate that is dementing, as well as that with someone that's akin to a hooker. And
Yeah.
it can only do us good, can it, Chet?
Well, I think sometimes when, one of the things I do when things are very serious and we have a lot of bad stuff going on in this country right now.
Right.
And sometimes you have to make light of things or you'll go crazy. You'll go crazy if you don't. So sometimes you do, have to make light of things. Of course, we're not talking badly about anyone out there that's going through that. But then again, anybody out there that's going through that isn't running for the highest office in the land. So, that's kind of a worry.
Yeah,
I would say.
Yeah, it absolutely is. But what does this say about A, the DNC, and B, his family? And we've had this conversation before. There is no way on this earth that if my dad, like your dad, my dad is not with us any longer, but I would not be letting them do this to my dad, and I'm sure you wouldn't too. You'd have to speak up and say something.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I mean, Hunter's gotten very far with his father's help, right? I mean, he's made millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Tagging along with his father. So I'm pretty sure Hunter isn't going to say anything because he wants more of the good eats. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He wants more of the payoff. So who's going to really stick up for? The only good son that Joe had was Beau Biden.
The one that the guy that died.
He was a decent guy.
Yeah.
He fought for the country. His wife ended up getting screwed by his other brother there.
Literally.
But I don't think Joe Biden has a great family around him. I can't say that. I don't know what Jill's like. I don't really know the rest of the clan. But listen, man, if you're screwing your dead brother's old lady, something's wrong.
When that happened, I was doing a little bit of research for a topic, and apparently there are more couples. I find it really odd, but there are lots of couples that are together because their partner was with another sibling before. But I don't get that.
Strange.
I couldn't date my sister's ex-husband. I mean, imagine what do you say to the kids at Christmas? Hi, this is Uncle Xander and Daddy. I mean, it doesn't.
Right. Well, yeah. I think with the situation with Joe Biden's his living son, which we're not supposed to talk about, by the way, because it's his kin. His living son was doing this behind the family's back. As far as I know, Hunter wasn't really upfront about it, and neither was Beau Biden's ex, his wife, that the guy was screwing.
Right.
I don't know. Is it worse than going to a crack house 5 blocks from Daddy's workplace and getting lap dances? Meanwhile, you're making millions of dollars sitting on the board in Ukraine for natural gas, which you know nothing about.
Right.
What's worse? I mean, listen, if this guy gets put into the highest office in the land, his family is going to be very well taken care of. That's for sure.
Forever. Look how much money Obama has made from being the president, a very bad president of the United States. But I want to just digress for a second. When you think about all the stuff they've said about the Trumps, Donald Trump's kids, about how bad they are. I mean, they're schoolboys when you think of, they're choir boys when you think of all the shit that the Biden's kids have done, or Biden's kid has done. And then I saw Biden's daughter and Biden's other son defending all of this. But obviously they're going to do that from the perspective of they're going to make money from this as well. I mean, even Mary Trump, who is like so far removed, has managed to make money out of the Trump presidency.
Yeah, that whole thing is falling on deaf ears. It's like, is anybody really catching on to that? And when they talk about Trump's children, I mean, what have they done that's all that bad? The only thing I
Yeah.
can even think of that I don't like personally is the hunting thing where they kill like some of the African animals. But
Yeah.
I can't find anything where they've done anything salacious or
Right.
or actually it's quite the opposite. I mean, they do a lot of work with St. Jude. They're always on the road helping out children with pediatric cancer. I mean, from what I can see, Trump's kids have been raised well, and it really does show. And it shows you the measure of a man is from his children and his children's children on how they behave. And look, they've lived very well. They're Trumps, but if you listen to them and you watch them and you see them speak and you see them going to the companies that their father has started and the businesses and meeting the families, they do everything that they're supposed to do. They are not stuck up. That's why I really like the Trump family because, okay, they're not just like us because, yes, they have very good things in life, and I can only aspire to have those things, but they're pretty good people, you know?
But when you think about it, on balance, we only kind of tend to hear in the media all of the bad things about President Trump and his family. Because I can never remember that girl's name, the black girl who won American Idol. When her family got shot, he put her and her whole family up in Trump Tower. Why is she not every election coming forward and saying, when my family was killed, President Trump quite kindly put me up in Trump Tower. Not a whisper, and the media only wants to concentrate on things that President Trump has done allegedly. I mean, if Donald Trump is bad, then so am I. I have not paid contractors the full money because they've done a bad job. Why should Donald Trump be any different to anybody else? If you had a painter in your house and they spilled paint on your carpet or didn't do a good job, you wouldn't pay them for shit, would you?
No, and as far as that young lady that won American Idol, we don't know if she said that to the media because if she did, they wouldn't report it.
That's a great point.
We don't know. They don't tell us these things. It's like they look the other way. Right? If she's saying something bad about the president, then it'd be front page. If she said something good about the president, it would be back behind the sports section, small lettering in the bottom corner. It's just like. It's so obvious. Sometimes you have to try to do your own homework, but even that can get hard because it's hard to see anything that's going on. And, listen, Xander, we really need, as more than ever, seeing what's going on right now, and another guy was shot and all that. And I've tried to kind of distance myself from the story because I'm so sick of all that. But, man, we need a law and order president.
We do.
If we get Joe Biden, it's going to be a disaster. And right now, from what I can see with what happened last night or yesterday afternoon, I mean, the guy was reaching in his car for something. He was reaching for something.
That was a worry, and I don't know the full facts of that. But every video I've seen, the video stops at the point of him reaching into his car, and then you just hear gunshots. So I've not seen the whole thing. So I'm not ready to comment on that. But I will say, if the police say to you, stop where you are, and they have a gun, you stop where you are. I'm not saying that gives them carte blanche to shoot you, because absolutely it doesn't. Jennifer Hudson, people are saying in the live feed, and CV Burton is saying that Ivanka Trump is hot, which is just no freaking surprise with CV.
Yeah, that's like saying water is wet.
Yeah, exactly.
We know, dude.
Exactly. No one could ever accuse CV of being gay, could they? Do you know what I mean?
No. Well, I mean, we can certainly wonder about the Clintons, though. And that, it's like you want to thank the Trump supporters just for stopping Hillary, and the dog-faced gremlin, from coming into the White House.
The beast of Chappaqua.
Gremlin, that's Chelsea. Ugly, ugly woman. I mean, she should shave her ass and learn how to walk backwards. That's how ugly Chelsea Clinton is.
Yeah, she looks like her dad, and I'm talking about Chester Hubble. But she looks like, those little French bulldogs? She looks like one of them licking piss off a stinging nettle. That kind of like...
Chester, his name's Chester? That's his name?
Chester Hubble, yeah.
Well, I didn't get... My namesake, actually his name is Chester, but luckily I didn't get stuck with that one. I just shortened it for me. Right, Chester Hubble. I mean, Hillary Clinton, with all the power she had, she was banging some ugly dudes.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, I don't think.
You think she would have done better?
But Bill Clinton was never kind of very good looking, was he? I mean, I wouldn't be taking off my pantyhose in the Oval Office for him.
I mean, he was an alright looking guy, I think. He was a sick rapist.
Yeah.
But, in this day, he could have done better. Well, he could have done better than Hillary. That's for sure.
I get the impression she clung on to him in the beginning because she smelled the potential power. I mean, she's been in trouble from day one. I mean, she got fired from her first job for oh God, I can't remember the terminology. But she lost her license to practice law pretty early on. But interestingly enough, so did the Obamas. They're not allowed to practice law because they both were struck off. What was it called? I can't remember.
Nobody talks about it.
Oh no! Oh God! Be careful. It's a good job I'm living in Istanbul where they can't get to me.
Well, Hillary Clinton was involved with Watergate.
Oh, of course.
That was with Hillary Clinton was involved with that. So and just like the types of people that Hillary represented is this dirtbag. I think it was two of them that raped a 12-year-old little girl and they tried to kill her. And she survived. And it's Hillary Clinton that's caught on audio laughing about it and said that the guy had taken a lie detector test and he had passed. And she was like, "That's when I stopped believing in the lie detector test." And then she's laughing. She's laughing about a little girl getting raped. That just kind of and almost killed. That kind of tells you what you're dealing with right there.
It does. And I know it goes
disgusting piece of garbage.
I know it goes with the territory for a lawyer to kind of, they're paid to get their client off. But wouldn't you think that there is a little moral element to it? Because if I was a lawyer, I couldn't defend, a child rapist, whether I thought they were innocent or not. I don't want to taint my soul with that kind of, like you say, demonic crap because that is, that is really kind of what that is. But CV, I can't even repeat that.
I saw CV's comment. That you got to leave that on. You're not on a Hustler chat room, dude.
Yeah. That is.
But listen,
that is
and a lot of people say that Hillary had, when she around people, very nasty woman. There were a few books written about how she is, and that the smell of sulfur that follows her around. And I'm not making that up. People say that. But she smells like sulfur, like cabbage farts. One of the emails said she smelled like urine and cabbage farts, and that was stuff that came out through WikiLeaks. And that came, and it's not. I'm not saying it as a joke. It really wasn't.
No,
it was I think it was Podesta, who's another slimy demon, that said she smelled like that. So obviously, there's something cooking. Yeah, I don't want to see it, but there's something cooking down
apparently, those who use adrenochrome, it really does give off some, crap from the body. But the other thing is, with Hillary, with Hillary and Bill, the thing that kind of scares me the most, because if I was with someone and they were off raping people, I couldn't cover that up for 40 years. I couldn't just ignore that kind of stuff. Because what does that say about the kind of person that you are? You can't say as a woman you stand up for women's rights. Our friend Juanita Broderick, she threatened her. She threatened to kill her.
Yes,
I would worry too. She just backed off and went out of. I mean, she doesn't care now. She's an older lady and she's a very nice lady. And I believe her.
Fantastic woman. And the stuff they did to her, Xander, when you interviewed her, the stuff about them killing her cats and all that, that's really sick stuff. And that it's the liberal mainstream that'll say, "Oh, it's fake news. That's just you watch too much Fox." I'm getting sick of you watch too much Fox nonsense. I don't watch Fox.
Yeah.
I get my stuff where I get my stuff. Go to freedomondeck.com and check out the news section.
Yeah. I don't watch Fox because they don't show it where I live, in the country that I live in
I watch it when
Venezuela.
If I want to watch Hannity or I want to watch Mark Levin, I will. But all in all, and people make that argument, it's like Fox is going left. Soon there's not going to be YouTube that represents conservatives anyway. So why are they so pissed off?
Well, I think YouTube is going down the path as
embarrassing.
well. It's not about the quality of your content. It's about how much they're kind of shadow banning you. You know, I'm on TikTok, and on some of my earlier videos, some of my comedy stuff, you know, gets lots of likes and lots of responses. But anything that mentions conservative or Donald Trump, they're kind of censoring it. They're kind of pushing it to the back of the queue. What does that say about the age we live in, where private companies are doing that to people just because they disagree with their politics? I mean, I don't doubt that they're being paid to do so. You can't tell me that Mark Zuckerberg is not getting a big fat check from the DNC every year.
Oh, of course he is. And then, you know, they play it up, and I've heard Nancy Pelosi, they've got to get it under control. Well, get what under control? Oh, so Nancy is claiming that we have the advantage with social media. Have you ever heard anything so ridiculous in your life?
No, because, you know, I miss the old days.
Up is down with those people, I swear.
I miss the old days of social media. You could say what you wanted as long as you didn't say, I'm going to kill you. You know, you couldn't threaten to kill someone. But you could be as insulting as you wanted because that was what social media... But now it's become just so... you know, like if somebody attacks me and I because I'm very clever with comebacks, I get banned. You know, I know you've been banned, and like me, at times you don't even know why you've been banned. I mean, it's a worry. Yeah, it really is a worry.
Yeah, half the time they pull something from like 3 to 4 years ago. They pulled something.
Yeah.
From, you remember we talked about it when it happened. 4-year comment. So they're going through our shit, looking for something that has a red flag, and they get you for it. I think anything that's up there that is beyond like 2-3 weeks, they shouldn't have the right to even look through.
No, it's because it's too late. It's retrospective banning, then, isn't it? After the last time, I was banned from broadcasting on my Xander Gibb page for 6 months for 2 videos about for 2 pictures of Tommy Robinson from 3 years ago. So do you know what I did? Just so that they couldn't do it again, I went through every picture and video on my site so that you know they would be scraping the barrel to kind of do it again.
I know you did that, and I remember when that happened to you, and it's disgusting and it's wrong, especially when it's something like sharing a picture of a man that has been a man that's been innocent through all this.
Yeah.
We're talking about Tommy Robinson, in my opinion, a real journalist, okay? Not the left like to call him Islamophobic. What's Islamophobic about pointing out what these bastards are doing over there? That's Islamophobic?
Yeah.
So if they're killing and raping little girls and you say something about it, you're Islamophobic.
But you know why we're in this situation, don't you? And my father said this. You know, my dad's been gone for nearly 20 years ago. So for nearly 20 years now, but he was saying back in the day, he said, political correctness is going to get us all killed. And he's absolutely right. And this is why I don't stop myself now. I even get into trouble for saying stuff about gay people, and I'm gay. So I'm a homophobe because I disagree with someone that's gay. It's become so liberalized, and we have to stand up to it. Sorry, flashing white power symbol again. I don't know. It's just like, you know. So we have to do that.
I know.
We have to do that because ultimately I think if we don't, we are gonna, you know, we're gonna have more problems. But I don't know. I think we've pushed it too far in their favor. But we're gonna change this because if we have to have a revolution, a peaceful revolution, of course, we will do that. Tell people where they can find you, Chat, and where they can listen to your show.
Yeah, so go to freedomondeck.com. The show's Sundays 3 to 5. Eastern time. Xander's on with us all the time. As a matter of fact, I have to send you because you're coming back on this week.
I
am
indeed.
Send you the time for it. And just, you know, if you guys can, you know, go on our Facebook, go on our Twitter, all that. All it is a simple click of the button to like us. Because right now, Facebook is actually removing people that follow us.
Yeah.
So it's wonderful.
Absolutely. It really is getting ridiculous. So this is why I really do encourage people. I know it takes a couple of minutes. They've made it hard. They've made it easier to share now, and I don't think they know it, so I should shut up because every time I talk about it,
They have. Yeah, we'll enjoy it while we can, right,
Yeah,
Xander?
exactly. Listen, thank you very much, brother. Chet Martin from Freedom on Deck. I'm going to be on his show this weekend, but he's going to be on as my guest this Friday. So make sure to tune in. And I'm sure he'll be on Wednesday, too, because we're always shooting the breeze. Thanks a lot, Chet. Have a great week, my friend.
Thanks, Jan.
Thanks a lot. Take care.
You too. God bless.
You too, brother. God bless you. That was my friend, Chet Martin from Freedom on Deck. Make sure you check them out at freedomondeck.com. Oh, yes, sirree. So our guest tonight is political commentator Tony Lusacco, and he's going to be calling us any minute from the United States of America. And we're going to be shooting the breeze. Tonight for shooting the breeze. Got my fan on, and we're shooting the breeze. Let's go back to the live feed just while we wait for Tony to call in. Carla says she bawled like a baby at the opening of the RNC. I didn't get to watch it, but I'll watch some of it later. I only watch the main stuff really now. I watched live of President Trump tweeting. Yes, check out Freedom on Deck. Check out the show from yesterday. And make sure to check it out this weekend, too. I wish I was at the DNC this year. I'm glad they decided to do it like an in-person thing and not this stupid call-in game show bullshit with the Democrats. It really is... yeah, it's bullshit. 'Cause it all is bullshit. As you can probably hear, my voice is shot to pieces from complaining. I'm sick of customer services in this country. I'm sure it's the same in America as well. They blame everything on COVID-19. So I want to know, what was their excuse before COVID-19? Do you know what I mean? Why were they so bad before COVID-19 happened? And why are they just using that as an excuse now? It's rather worrying, to say the least. I'm thinking of switching phone companies because my phone company has really caused me so many problems. And I'm bored with it. I'm bored with having to speak to 4 people who say, "Oh, yes, Mr. Xander, we have done it for you. It is all sorted, everything that you have asked for." And then, you go to it, and it's still the same thing. So I don't know. I just I tire of companies, and I think we got to vote with our feet. I think we have to stop using companies. And the other thing as well. Why are we using companies that farm out their, They farm out their customer services to foreign countries. Why can't they have their customer service in the UK or in the United Kingdom, or whatever country it's in? Because I'm tired of that, Bring it back. Bring it back. This should be my guest tonight, the one, the only, the fabulous Mr. Tony Lusacco. Thanks for joining us, Tony. How is the world with you, sir?
Good. How are you, Xander?
I'm warm, and I'm fed up with faulty customer services. But I'm sure you can. Concur with faulty customer services being a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I just had it out with Amazon. It's funny you should say that.
And did you get a result? Did you get a result?
I did, because they falsely advertised free shipping and 24-hour delivery and next-day shipping, and they lie. And it was my mom's birthday. They said it would be here today.
Oh.
And her birthday is Wednesday, and they said it would be 2 days later after I bought it under that stipulation. And I said, look, this is the 3rd time it's happened. It's false advertising. You're either going to withdraw your next day shipping thing and guaranteed delivery, or I'm going to sue you.
Right, for sure.
And guess what? The package arrived an hour later after they said it wouldn't be here for 3 days.
Wow, good
Literally,
for you.
An unmarked vehicle.
Don't we have to start standing up to these assholes? Amazon are terrible, and have you noticed as well, Amazon has stopped putting on the country of origin. I want to know the country of origin because I'm not buying shit from China.
You don't like China? Is it
China!
China virus?
Yeah. I don't want anything from China. We're going to get rid of China. We're going to build a wall around China. That's not a dry, persistent cough, honestly, I assure you. And you can't get COVID down the phone. Let's jump into some serious topics, Tony. not that getting our shit from Amazon sorted out isn't a serious topic. So the Republican Party formally nominated President Trump for a second term in the White House today, one of the first acts of a GOP convention that has dramatically scaled down to prevent the spread of the coronavirus pandemic. Trump has sought to minimize the toll of the pandemic, but its impact was evident as proceedings began in Charlotte. The convention renominated Mike Pence, and he thanked delegates in person. He said the choice in this election has never been clearer, and the stakes have never been higher. Pence also said, "We're going to make America great again." Now, the GOP convention is a crucial moment for President Trump, who they say is trailing in the polls. But we know how bad the polls are from last time, because they said Hillary was going to win by a landslide victory, and he's looking to turn the race around. Just 23% think the country is heading in the direction, while 75% think it's on the wrong path, but I don't know who they're asking. According to a new poll, the Associated Press, NORC, Center for Public Affairs Research. Last week, the Democrats failed with a roll call via video montage with diverse officials and others from states across the country. The Republicans spoke from the ballroom floor. After Trump's renomination, much of the action is shifting to Washington, where Republicans will spend the week trying to convince the American people that the president deserves a second term. Now, was it a foregone conclusion, in your opinion, that he was going to be the nominee?
Repeat that, please.
Was it a foregone conclusion that the president was going to be the nominee?
Well, yes, of course. I mean, they got rid of any opposition to him a while ago. There was two candidates ahead who I think they bowed out finally.
Yeah, but I think it's never a guarantee. And I have to say, and I'm going to go on record as saying this, I don't really trust the Republican Party. I don't think they've ever wanted Donald Trump. I don't think I've ever liked Donald Trump. And frankly, I don't always trust their ability to do things right, you know?
Well, I'll go a step further. There is no Republican Party. The name Republican Party has become the Donald Trump Party. What is left of the old Republican Party has joined the Democratic Party. We just seen it again today with the endorsements from a whole bunch of Republicans. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if former President Bush came out and endorsed Joe Biden.
That wouldn't surprise me.
What was left of the old Republican Party has gone over to the Democrats and endorsed Joe Biden. This is Donald Trump's party alone right now we're dealing with.
Right. Well, you know, I kind of think that that's probably a good thing, because for me, you cannot say you're a Republican if you're supporting a Democrat for election as the president of the United Kingdom. And the United States. See where my brain is right now? You cannot have a Democrat in the United Kingdom. Of course, I was referring to the United States. But the concern for me really is, are those people really, Republicans, or are they rhinos? I mean, I know you don't really identify as a Republican, and I accept that because, like yourself, before I joined the Republican Party, I was a brain has died. What is it you are?
I'm a
libertarian. Yeah. I was a libertarian before I joined the Republican Party, and referred to myself as such, and actually only joined the Republican Party to support Donald Trump. But you don't ever refer to yourself as a Republican, do you?
No, I know. I mean, I used to identify as a Republican, then I switched to libertarian, and now I'm more of an independent. I mean, I take the good, I take the bad, and there you have the facts of Tony.
Right. but I, although I'm probably more pro-Trump than you, and we're not going to go down that road today, I agree with you too, because I'm not here just to kind of pussyfoot around and pander to any one particular party. To me, it's about what's right for America. And ultimately, I think that Donald Trump is a better choice for America than Joe Biden. See, I don't know what my brain is tonight. I really don't. I think I need a beer. I do. However, I mean, I'm going to ask you outright. Do you think that it makes you less Republican if you're supporting a Democrat?
Does it make you less Republican if you're supporting a Democrat?
Yeah.
Yes, but let me finish. It should not be about party. It should be about a matter of conscience. And I think that if more politicians actually voted and did what their conscience dictated instead of following blind political party lines, this country might actually have a prayer for itself. But it doesn't. Yes, you don't go against your own party's nominee and still get to call yourself a member of that party.
Right.
That would be my personal opinion. You switch parties then. You say, as a matter of conscience, I can't call myself a Republican. When I disagree with the head of our party, he's ruined it. That's what you do.
Exactly.
But you don't say you're still a Republican and go against the party nominee. I mean, you leave the party is what you do.
Exactly. I want to switch topics because, as always, we're time-bound. White House advisor Kellyanne Conway has announced she is resigning from her post as senior counsel to President Donald Trump. It comes hours after her daughter tweeted that Mrs. Conway's job had ruined her life. In a statement, Mrs. Conway revealed she will be transitioning from the White House at the end of this month to focus on supporting her children who are starting new academic years remotely due to the coronavirus crisis. This is completely my choice, my voice, said Mrs. Conway. In time, I will announce future plans. For now, my beloved children, it will be less drama, mama. Mrs. Conway was Mr. Trump's third campaign manager, and in 2016, the first female campaigner to successfully elect a president. She explained that her husband, George, who openly campaigns against Mr. Trump, will also be making changes. We disagree about plenty, but we are united on what matters most, the kids, said Mrs. Conway. As millions of parents nationwide know, kids doing school from home requires a level of attention and vigilance that is as unusual as these times. George Conway co-founded the Lincoln Project, which states that its mission is to defeat the president at the ballot box. In a statement on Twitter, Mr. Conway announced he was withdrawing from the Lincoln Project to devote more times to family matters. He said, "Now I'll be taking a Twitter hiatus too." He also added, "Needless to say, I continue to support the Lincoln Project and its missions passionately." Mrs. Conway, her announcement came hours after her daughter, Claudia, tweeted that her mother had ruined her life. So what do you make of this, Tony? Is it, is this a response to a bratty teenager? Has it been coming for a while? Is there too much discord in her house? Did she jump or was she pushed?
I think that they came to an agreement to save their marriage and their family, and it was, I'll step down from my side, you step down from my side. I think they might have done the right thing for their family, honestly.
Right.
I was wondering, I thought it was going to end in a divorce, in a bloody, ugly divorce, quite honestly, and it probably would have had they not made that decision. I think they both agreed that the compromise was, I'll back off from my side, you back off from my side, and we just both get the hell out of it, and I think that's what happened.
Yeah, I think it was coming, wasn't it? Because it must be very hard to work for a guy and your husband be actively working against that guy. Do you know what I mean?
No, absolutely. And I think that they made the right decision for their family. I hope and I pray, and it's not going to be the case, that the media and the tabloids and social media and everybody leaves them the heck alone now. But that's not going to happen.
No, of course not.
I hope that that's what happens.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of think that ultimately she kind of feels backed into the situation, but I think the media is going to continue to kind of give her hassle. But here's the thing for me. I'm not saying people deserve to be harassed by the media, but if you want the media's help to kind of make yourself better known, you put your head in the lion's mouth, and if it snaps shut on you, you can't say what happened because you put your head in the lion's mouth.
True. Very true. I mean, you can't speak up and then expect, pushback or blowback or take a side
Right.
and get out there and make yourself public and your statements public. You and I know that better than anybody.
Of course.
You can't make statements. You can't make yourself public and not expect pushback from it. I mean, when I went on Facebook attacking Black Lives Matter, not Black Lives Matter, but some of their tactics, I knew what I was going to get,
Right.
You can't become a public figure and put yourself out there and then whine about what happens.
Of course.
I take that back. I do believe cancel culture is wrong, and I don't believe people should be losing their jobs, their homes, be threatened at their house, have their families threatened because of opinions they express. And I don't care what the opinion is for that matter, or how despicable it is. You shouldn't go going after people's jobs and attacking them at their homes and their families and
Definitely
things like
not.
that. It's just wrong.
Definitely, but in fairness, I'm not backing you into a corner, but there is one side that does that more than another, isn't there? In all fairness, the left's cancel culture ideology far outweighs the right.
Well, I have a funny little story about that. So a left group called me today. I got on their roll somehow to do some campaigning work for them, right? And it was a get out the vote thing. And I told them I would be willing to do the phone calls for them, right? And I said, but since you're a third party and you support other causes, let me tell you what I don't support. I don't support this cause, that cause, that cause. So she stayed on the phone with me, thanked me for my time, and I was supposed to get an email. It never came, even though I told them I was willing to help them and phone bank for their particular cause for that particular thing.
Wow.
I didn't meet the criteria. You know why? Because I didn't toe the liberal line and agree
Right.
with every other cause they had. You're not allowed individuality with progressivism.
Absolutely.
You are not allowed to be a liberal in the United States of America and have your own mind and opinion. It's not allowed.
Exactly, which is why I left the Democrats and became, well, I don't know if I became a libertarian. I kind of acknowledged my libertarianism because I think that I don't think you become a libertarian. I don't know what your ideology is about that. I think you either are or you're not.
No, I'm just laughing because I remember when I was more conservative than you. And
Yeah,
I was
gosh.
No, this isn't right.
Yeah.
I remember those days.
Yeah, exactly. Because in the early days of the show, I was a Democrat. I wasn't a typical Democrat because I was a more common sense Democrat. I don't think there are many of those around nowadays, but yeah. If you listen to
you
all,
weren't a Democrat, you listen to reason.
Yeah, exactly.
You weren't a good liberal, you listen to reason.
Exactly, for sure.
Facts.
If you listen to shows like from back in the day, from like 8, 9, 10 years ago, when the show first started and when Tony used to come on the show, it was a whole different conversation, wasn't it, Tony?
Yes, it was.
Absolutely. But thankfully, we're going in the right direction, and the direction we have to go in now is to close the show. But thank you so much for joining us, Tony Lusacco. Tell people where they can find you and find out more about what you're doing.
You can find me on the Center at Facebook. If you want an independent political thought and you're sick of both sides of the swamp, go to the Center on Facebook.
Absolutely. Check Tony out at the Center, and we'll make sure the links are there for you to check him out. For now, thank you so much, Tony Lusacco. Have a great week, and give our love to Kiko.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, brother. Take care.
Right.
That was a very sleepy Tony Lusacco. Make sure you check him out at The Circle on Facebook. We will ensure that the links are there for you. Thanks to everyone who's made today's show possible. Thanks to Tony Lusacco. Thanks to Chet Martin from Freedom on Deck. Not had your fill off the Gipster. You can check me out. You can catch me 3 nights a week, 5 Pacific, 7 Central, 8 Eastern, 1 in the UK, and 10 a.m. the next day in Australia. Join us on Wednesday for more stimulating chat when CV Burton from Freedom on Deck joins us. Stay safe out there. I've been Xander Gibb, and I really do love you all. Don't forget to click share, and if you're watching on YouTube, click the bell button and subscribe to keep up with what's going on with the Xander Gibb Show. I love you all. Ta-ta.
It has been good to me this time around. Things were bound to change when it was found.
the bell button and subscribe to keep up with the Xander Gibb Show. Oh, yes, sirree.